Introduce you to Ben Farias. Ben is a former regulator and a longtime compliance professional for many, many financial institutions. Obviously, extensive experience in deposit and lending compliance, but he is definitely a person with superpowers. So, Ben, I'm handing it off to you.
Good morning or afternoon, depending on where you are in the United States. I'm going to be talking about lending compliance first. The first topic I want to address is collection issues. We know that the virus, the pandemic, is causing significant financial disruption. We're seeing just a tremendous rise in unemployment claims, and that's going to ripple through our economy, and it's going to affect your members. Your credit union may need to take collection action in order to protect its capital base. But when you do that, you need to be aware that there are consumer protections provided by both federal and state law. So obviously the stimulus legislation that recently went through Congress has some protections. I think there's a 90-day moratorium on evictions. There's some provisions for bankruptcy protections. And also your state may have passed legislation that provide additional consumer protections for people who have lost their employment due to the pandemic. Probably a good number of your members own income property, both single family, 1 to 4 family properties, and maybe even multi-family properties. There's a law protecting tenants in foreclosure that if you're proceeding with a foreclosure action and you find out that that property has a tenant in it, there's a lease in place, you need to provide those tenants with a 90-day notice before you can evict them. Now, if that property is sold, by the successor in interest, then you need to give them 90-day notice before you can terminate the lease. So you need to be aware of those things. There are also some fair lending implications, particularly with age discrimination. The mortality statistics that we're seeing on the COVID-19 virus indicate that elders, people over 60, are much more adversely impacted by the virus than younger people. So you need to make sure that when you're in a collection mode or you're looking at a new application, that there's not any inappropriate discretion being exercised in terms of the applicant's or the borrower's age. So you're going to see a lot of families because they've lost their employment. Maybe they're going to be applying for signature loans, what have you. You need to make sure that those are done on a fair and equitable basis. One thing to keep in mind about the Equal Credit Opportunity Act is it does prohibit discrimination on the basis of age. This applies to all types of credit and through the credit life cycle. And keep in mind that if your regulator determines that there's an apparent violation of a COA, that's an automatic Department of Justice referral. So that's going to cause more expense and more problems for your credit union if you have to deal with attorneys and the Department of Justice. The next topic I want to talk about is the use of medical information. The Fair and Accurate Transaction Act includes prohibitions regarding the use of medical information. So there are prohibitions in the FACT Act regarding when and how medical information may be obtained. There are rules about making the credit decision in terms of credit information. What information can you use if the applicant offers information versus what you can't ask for in the application process. So just a pound of prevention is worth a lot of cure in terms of need to train your lenders to be aware of the law's definitions, what is prohibited, what can't they ask for, and then what are the exceptions where they can ask for certain medical information. I'm going to switch over to deposit compliance. And I want to talk about the protection of government benefit payments. You're going to have a lot of people that are going to be overdrawing accounts. They may be receiving retirement automatic payments. They may be receiving Social Security payments or federal government retirement or railroad retirement. Those are protected benefits, and you can't take those. You have to leave, I think it's 2 months worth of payments in the account before you can consider taking those. The benefits that are covered by those protections are Social Security, supplemental security income, veterans benefits, federal railroad retirement, unemployment and sickness, civil service retirement systems, and federal employee retirement systems. So be aware of that. When you're dealing with, again, you're going to have a lot of people in distressed financial situations, and they're going to be looking to protect your credit union's capital base and your assets. Just keep in mind that there are certain things that you can't take if it has to do